everyone, this is Nina from ROADIE Free Radio. In this clip, Larry talks to Scott Adamson, FOH for Jimmy Eat World, St. Vincent, and Sleater Kinney, and the founder of the Production Academy, an online school to teach technical skills to sound engineers and musicians. Here, Scott talks about the reasons he started the Production Academy and the importance of sharing knowledge in the sound business. If you want to hear more from Scott, you can listen to the full episode, number 135 from May 13th, 2019. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Here's Larry and Scott Adamson.
Let me ask you something. In terms of the blog and doing the videos, right? So this is a little separate than teaching, and we're jumping in heavy here without giving context to how you got into all this. But because I'm just curious, because it struck me in terms of the blog, making the videos, not so much the videos on education, but more the blog videos of like, hey, this is what happened this weekend, and these are the challenges I faced and how I overcame them. Hopefully you overcame them. What prompted you to be so open about your process and your journey doing this stuff, which is different than why do you want to teach this stuff?
Sure. Well, I mean, honestly, it's like reading blogs about people that sell online courses, and that could be about anything, really. Actually, a lot of people sell online courses about making online courses, Yeah. And I follow these people, actually, and their advice usually is to be open and honest and talk about what you're doing, and that's kind of connects better with people than just this kind of formal education thing, which is still important, obviously.
Sure.
But and it took me a while to kind of get comfortable doing that and feel like I had something to share and that people might care about it. But now that I've been doing it, I get great responses and people seem to connect with it, which is great. I mean, that's the whole point, is to make human connections and talk about the stuff on a human level, because it's music. It's it's about getting together and enjoying music. So.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of folks out there that just have online training courses, whatever it is, and they're just sort of spewing the education part of it, but they also don't open themselves up to, hey, look at me, I'm going through it too.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the best conversations I've ever had about live sound is just hanging out after gigs and talking to other people that do this stuff. It's talking about, and that's where I learn. That's where I feel like where I learn a lot is by just chatting with people informally. So it's not like I go and really take a lot of advanced training. I do once in a while for very specific things, but I don't really dig into, really advanced live sound training videos on advanced acoustical things, or getting deep into running smart, or like.
Right. You just figure it out.
Yeah, I talk to people and kind of like and informally figure out how other people do it and get tips and techniques that way. So nice. I figured it was a good way to just kind of chat and share and kind of hopefully develop those relationships with a lot of other people that are into this stuff.
How long ago did you start Production Academy?
Well, let's see. I think I put my first videos up maybe about 2 years ago now. My main course, the Essential Live Sound Training, it's kind of the 100+ video course. It's really like the fundamental, like beginner to intermediate aspects of live sound, specifically live sound. That's been up for about 9 months now. So,
wow.
But I've been working on it for quite a bit longer.
Sure.
From the initial idea to writing the first curriculum to writing the second and third and fourth and fifth and 10th version of that before it actually kind of started to feel good and make sense to me.
Yeah.
So it's been a few years for me to like actually working on the whole thing.
And how's the response been?
And it's kind of mind blowing how many people write in to me and say, I've needed this.
Yeah.
I just haven't known where to get this information, and thank you so much for sharing it. People from, I had a guy sign up for my main course from Tanzania a couple days ago.
Wow.
And he's already getting a ton out of it, and he just doesn't have access to that info. Like some of us is like in more populous, or not more populous, but like more in places with more live music and more production and more opportunity happening.
Yeah.
So it's it kind of makes me feel good to be able to reach people like that.
Yeah. Did you ever teach before anything?
No, I actually taught banjo way back, like I lived in Chicago about 15 years ago. But
Yeah.
Besides that, no.
Because you have a nice, you lay it out really simply, and it's easy to follow. I mean, I didn't jump into the essential live sound stuff, but the free stuff that I watched, the staging and the mixing and stuff like that, which obviously I just wanted to check out and see what you were doing. And then I found myself like, oh, he's so mellow and chill. Like I can follow right along. And then it was like, oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. I picked up a few things, man. So I can only imagine the live sound, the essential live sound package has got to be pretty awesome.
I hope so. I put a lot of work into it. People seem to love it. But, again, it took me so long to get on camera and talk and then watch myself and try again. It took me so long to just do it until I was at a point that I felt like, oh, this is kind of cool to watch, and I'm happy giving this out to people, and like it's something I'm proud of now. So
that's awesome.
But it took a lot of versions.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know how it is, man. My YouTube channel, and the people on the show know I talk about it all the time. It's like, oh, I'm going to be posting a bunch of videos, and then life gets in the way or whatever happens, and I beat myself up for that. It's like, oh, I haven't posted a video, and but even I started out as an actor, and I still put the camera on me. It's like, what am I going to talk about? Is this interesting? Does anybody care? But you just got to do it, right? And I think, like you said earlier, like the authenticity part plays into it, and the more you can be that for people, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's people that. I know when I started doing audio, either studio or live sound stuff, I felt like the hardest thing was to know what people did and just kind of have an insight into how pros did it and what that looked like. It felt very opaque.
Yeah.
Especially like a lot of the live music industry. It felt like it was really hard to get to the next level of touring or understand how systems operated at big levels, and it just was really unclear about where to find that information and have access to that type of knowledge and experience. So I think that's why I want to be open and sharing about my experience, with the stuff that I get to do.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm not doing the hugest world tours, ever, which is fine, but there's still like a lot of stuff I do is at a level that a lot of younger kids starting out, or even people that have been doing it for a long time, that are trying to get up to the next level, just kind of want to have access and see it. So I feel like an open communication is cool that way.
Right.
And the internet makes it possible. It's kind of amazing,
Yeah, totally. I think it was in my interview. You just reminded me of something. I think it was in my interview with Peter Shapiro from Relics and from the Brooklyn Bowl, who was talking about, like for people that want to get started in different things like this, like for example, putting on events. It was his context. He was like, look, putting on an event in a bar, putting a band on or a night of music in a bar is really essentially no different than doing it, at an outdoor festival. It's just small, right? It's just the logistics are just different. The practical things you have to think about are just different, but it's all the same steps. So doing sound for a band, whether you're at a coffee house or for the Rolling Stones, same basic steps. I could get yelled at by all the community out there, but same basic steps, right? But it's just bigger, so you have to prepare more.
Totally. You have a microphone that plugs into a split that goes, or to a console, and you have to set the gain correctly for it, and you have to EQ it, so it compress it so it sounds good.
Yeah.
Same basic concepts. And obviously it's different, but it really, you do the sound check generally the same way. It is essentially the same thing.
Right.
And it's just not clear when you don't see the big productions happening that's really the case.
Yeah, right.
You have more crew, you have more budget, you have bigger systems and all that, and there are technical things that go along with that. But you still have to kind of do these fundamental things with sound to kind of make to make everything sound good. That's what I wanted to break down in the training that I put together. Is just like top to bottom, A, B, C, D, like what are all the fundamental things you need to know at any level
Yeah.
just to kind of have a solid understanding of how live sound works. And then you can apply that to whatever console you're on or whatever venue you're at.
Hey, what's happening, roadies? It's Larry here. Just wanted to thank you so much for listening to this short clip. I really hope you got something out of it. If you can take 2 seconds to head over to iTunes and drop us a review or a comment, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep listening, keep coming back, stay healthy out there, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.